All right, everybody. So my team has been asking me to create a piece of content describing the way that wellness incentives function within an organization. And so I'm going to break down a couple of different models, the industry average model and the Project Blue model. The reason for that is relatively simple. So if you're watching this video and you're interested in enhancing employee wellness, at the same time leveraging tax incentives and saving money for your business, then you're in the right place. And I'm going to break down industry average, traditional wellness incentives promulgated by the broker, as opposed to this preventative health initiative that we have structured leveraging an employee wellness tax incentive. So let's get started. There are so many wellness incentives out there, but industry average participation in a traditional wellness plan, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, United, Cigna, Aetna, right? One of these BUCA plans. There are so many of them out there, but we talk to business owners every day, and I always ask them questions about, have they ever attempted to launch a wellness incentive, and what is their average employee participation in these? And I know the industry average statistics, but I can tell you that industry average statistics are actually significantly greater than each organization internally that we talk to one at a time. So industry average participation in wellness plans, like 12 to 15%. I think that average is skewed by organizations that spend a lot of time and money with their employee relations team to really build in these wellness incentives to get a high level of participation. Just like some organizations get a higher participation from their 401k. Well, the reason that they get a higher participation is because of the education, the time that they take to teach their employees the benefits of a 401k with a match, etc., right? So why is it that industry average statistics say 12 to 15% of employees participate when I talk to business owners every day and they say very few of their employees participate in these plans? My interpretation of the reason that industry average plans see less participation than our plan typically sees 80% participation. There's two primary reasons. One, a wellness incentive that is marketed by the broker, it's typically designed to benefit the broker more than the employee, right? And it's designed to decrease premiums, decrease expenses. So everybody's spending less money if they go to the doctor less. But in order for those employees to receive the benefits, the incentive, they've got to perform specific activities, okay? These activities can be get your annual checkup, get your labs drawn, go through smoking cessations, track your steps, prove to us that you're going to the gym and paying for a membership, etc. Well, to a person who's already doing those things, well, then it makes a lot of sense. They're like, I'm already doing this. Might as well get those dollars in my FSA. But for the rest of the employees who don't value those things, who aren't doing that, or they are doing it, but they don't want to take the time to track and report all of that, right? Very commonly, people say this to me all the time. Oh yeah, we do it because why not? It's free money. I'm already doing these things. And everybody else, let's typically have more than one person on the call. I'm like, so he's doing it, or you doing it? She's like, nah, I don't have time for that. I go to the gym and I eat healthy and I do all that, but I'm not, going through the process. It feels rather punitive to the employees. We can also compare our plan to an EAP, for example, and in a traditional employee assistance plan, which again gets very low participation statistically, the employees, if they need help, it's typically like a critical or a chronic issue, let's say mental health or marital counseling, substance abuse, right? These are things that they don't necessarily want to tell you that they're struggling with. They'd rather just go find somebody to help them with their problem. Also with an EAP, they've got to request the meeting with the vendor. So let's say it's mental health or, whatever the service might be, whatever your EAP includes, the employee is only going to get a few appointments on the house before they have to start paying for it. So it's like most of them don't do it because it's not really worth their time. They've got to meet with a therapist a few times before they know that they want to work with them anyway. Why don't I just go pick my own, use my insurance, and so on and so forth. So, it's designed to be an employee assistance plan, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it's meeting them where they're at, and helping them. So very, very low participation there. Now, if we compare industry average plans, how they're broken and why they get low participation, the incentives. I really need to emphasize that the little dollars they get in their FSA, even if it's a couple hundred or $1,000 for the year, it doesn't typically tend to be enough to create the lifestyle change that the plan is intended to create. It's not enough to motivate them to change their behavior, right? Well, at Project Blue, we've got this Preventative Health Initiative, and what it really is just a government incentive for employee wellness. Why does it exist? Well, because the cost of treating sick people is very expensive. It costs taxpayer dollars, right? For example, if one of your employees is diagnosed with type 2 diabetes today, that's a preventable lifestyle disease. They go to the doctor and get traditional care, treatment. The cost for their care throughout their lifetime is going to average about $600,000. Currently, a third of our population is diagnosed type 2 diabetic. So that's a $6 trillion problem, right? Not only that, 70% of our population is pre-diabetic and they don't know it. Well, if they go get on the shots and get on the plan and get treatment and basically just stay sick, that's one thing, and it's expensive. But are you guys aware of the fact that type 2 diabetes could be reversed in 30 days or less with a little fitness and nutrition protocol, right? So our current healthcare system is not really a healthcare system, it's a sick care system. It's not proactive, it's reactive. It's not preventative, right? And so because it's so expensive, the government saw fit to create incentives to try to encourage employees to participate in preventative care. And where this all came from is decades ago, the Mayo Clinic started to do studies on why Americans are so sick when they have all these access to access to all of these resources. And they took this plan through pilot tests and clinical trials, et cetera. They came up with a system that's very effective, which the ACA then rolled into its programming in 2017. And since then has been written into and codified into IRS law, right? So these tax incentives to fund employee wellness, it's a plan that is existing. It's a tax code that we can leverage that is gonna fund the benefits package for your employees. Well, because this plan is a qualified Section 125, you're going to receive the payroll tax incentive when Section 125 is applied. And if your employees elect to participate in the plan, that same tax incentive is going to create a benefits allotment for them. It's going to fund their employee wellness. We plug in a bunch of tremendously valuable resources to, again, encourage them, right, to go to the doctor less. But the cool thing about it is that it's not an activity-based plan, and we're gonna bake in a cash value portable whole life insurance policy into the plan. So simply put, the difference between a traditional wellness incentive and the Preventative Health Initiative is that this plan is so much easier to participate in. It's not punitive, it's not activity-based. Basically, they just have to agree to allow us to send them some coaching emails, right? And participate in, and we've got to know lifestyle, conditions, medications, age, gender, right? They have to tell us who they are and agree to allow us to send them preventative care coaching. And this preventative care coaching is content as it relates to physical health, mental health, etc. So it's a very robust plan, but it's very easy to use. So it's easier to use, doesn't feel punitive, right? Doesn't require tremendous lifestyle change, right? Just preventative care coaching. And they've got a big fat cash value life insurance policy. So the incentives are significantly greater and the challenges or the compliance is significantly less. So in a nutshell, if you want to get higher participation in your employee wellness incentive, save money on payroll taxes, and increase your benefit stack at the same time, we should have a conversation about how we can implement the Preventative Health Initiative in your organization. And just in case you didn't know, we've specialized in tax programs, rebates, and incentives over the last decade. We've got over 1,000 agents bringing their clients to us throughout the country. So thousands of lives per month enrolled in this plan. And this is not the only tax incentive that we can introduce you to, but we always begin with this one because the benefits are significant. We do all of the work for you, so it's easy for you and your employees to implement. So it's basically kind of the opposite end of the spectrum from a traditional plan. It's labor intensive and expensive for you to implement and manage, and then none of your employees do it because the incentives aren't great enough. For us, a couple hours with us, we get you through the process. You'll see a profit on your next payroll, and your employees have access to all of these additional benefits included in the Preventative Health Initiative. So Hopefully my team appreciates this information. I think I wrapped it up pretty well. As always, you can click the link below if you want to schedule a consultation and have a conversation with us, but hopefully that got you the information that you need as it relates to why traditional wellness incentives don't work and what we can do to solve that problem for you to increase employee wellness, retention, etc. All right, so just to tie all of this together, why is the Preventative Health Initiative going to solve problems that a traditional wellness incentive creates? It's easier for the employees to use, and they have significantly higher incentives. It's easier for you to set up and implement, right? Traditional wellness plan is labor intensive, expensive. It takes you a lot of time to get set up and manage, and then none of your employees do it. With our plan, we do all of the work for you. A couple hours with us, you see a profit on your next payroll, and employees have access to all of these benefits. And just to kind of tie this up and remind you guys, our mission is very simple. We have this system set up to introduce business owners to every legitimate incentive that's available to them. Our mission is to serve as many people as we can, and we know that the more we serve others, the more successful we become. So the purpose of the systems that we have in place is simply, we want you guys to have the best access to keep as much of your money as possible and to provide your employees the best care that we possibly can. And we feel like we've done that with the Preventative Health Initiative. So I appreciate your time today. Give us a call if you've got any questions.